the server operators to cooperate to try to find out whether mailbox A, B, and C belong to one user or to 3 different users. Yeah, we have a to-do list. I've been programming for 2 months, and I'm happy to have a running server and a running client, but I have this, well, it's only a few of the items on my list of things that I want to do. If there are people interested in doing it, the GUI is made in WX Python, and if anyone is willing to learn it, but he can program with clean Python, or you're welcome to contribute to the project. If you have good privacy-enhancing ideas on how to do messaging, you're welcome. And yeah, I like to discuss. I even like people that are willing to review what I've done so far. I have some documentation, and you'll likely find it. You'll find pointers on our websites. You can also mail to Brenno, who isn't here yet. And I'll just do a small check on whether the mail has been sent. Okay, it looks like the mail has been sent. I'm just doing the window. Okay, yeah. You can, well, this is a debug window, but it shows that the mail has been sent to the server, and, well, let's check whether Brenno has some reply for it. Okay. While the computer is working, time for question and answers. Anyone?
If you send an email, can you send it to a normal email address or only to Hidden Onion email servers?
At the moment, the client only does our email protocol. So there's no gateway yet.
It's probably a good idea to keep this that way, because if you do it other way, you will disclose your hidden service, I think.
I've got some ideas, but let's say, but that's something I like to. It's hard to. Well, you get a two-way discussion here, and come over after the talk and discuss in more depth.
Disclosing the hidden service may not be such a problem after all, because the data retention mostly applies to access providers. There's still some uncertainty what an access provider really is. But as soon as you get to the hidden server, you may not really be an access provider.
I noticed that on your email address, your contacts, they're hash files. Do you have a way to make them aliases, or do you have to remember what each hash is for each person? If you've got like 3 or 4, that's fine, but if you've got 100, it's more difficult.
I already implemented an address book, but I just I want to make a small enhancement by allowing the user to give it a name and put it before the address. So let's say I was glad I had an address book and got it working in time for the conference. you know what I mean? It's yeah, and I didn't want to break things by changing it in the remaining 2 days.
I have a question about the transport chip card. Is it personalized in the Netherlands? Because the Octopus card you mentioned from Hong Kong is it's not personalized. You can give it back at any time, get the full amount stored on the card back, or put it on another card. So it's not that privacy invasive.
That's one of the reasons why it's such a mess, because they've chosen 2 options. Either, actually 3, there's a throwaway version, which is exceedingly insecure, but it's no problem, that's just a single fare ticket. There's an anonymous one, and there's a personal one. And the people who use the anonymous one do not apply for discount rates. So the Dutch are rather frugal people. No one will hardly anyone will use the anonymous one. And in case of subscriptions, you can't use the anonymous one. The one I showed on the slide in the back was my own one. And since I do have a subscription to all public transport in the Netherlands, I cannot use an anonymous one. So you can fairly safely assume that over 90% of the users will use a personalized card. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
There was another hand in the front over there.
Yes. So how do you store emails in this system? Is it possible to mount a denial of service attack by registering lots of accounts and sending lots of email and not retrieving it again?
Technically, well, with the current server it's possible, but yeah, it's something that can be fixed by using quotum system on the server, limit number of accounts. I have some ideas to restrict creation of accounts to certain numbers. But those are things, more cryptographic tricks, and it will go a bit too deep to talk about it now, and because it's ID. You can let's say it, you can hand out a signing key to someone. Nobody can hand out a signing key that allows the creation of 10 accounts by signing a key that is sent to the server and used as access key to the mailbox. Yeah, it's.
Could you elaborate how the message gets passed from one Onion mail server to another? How the different mail hosts discover each other?
At the moment, I assume, it's internet or Tor, and all nodes are accessible from the client. So it's you directly dump your email in the destination server from the client. It's not no forwarding between email servers. Just directly place the email on the server, because it's internet or Tor, and all of the nodes are connected. Do you want to say more about it?
I've got a question about the encryption. What type of encryption do you use? Here in front.
Okay. The emails are with GNU-PG encrypted. They are encrypted in the client before sending them to the server, and the server doesn't care about encryption or decryption. If you understand it, it's something like, and when a client retrieves them, he stores them locally on the file system in encrypted form. The only thing that's insecure is that the keys are on the client file system without passphrases. Another thing to do, but it protects the email. It's well protected on the server, but could be better protected on the client. But one thing is, the client. If you get a raid, you might notice. You will notice that your database has been corrupted. You only have to be aware about keyloggers, etc.
Currently, do we have any kind of fail-safes for the server nodes? It's an anonymous net, so any of the mail servers can technically go out at any time, and you won't find maybe they won't go up again. So basically, the mail on the server is gone. So what are you planning to do against that?
Breno had a plan to make clusters, meaning you have 2 or 3, maybe 4 mail servers that know each other and forward the email. It's something like a cluster system where all mails are copied on all 4 servers. But that's, it's a good idea. It's something that requires time to implement. Actually, I haven't seen his design yet. So he will design it, and we will review it and go on. But I see there's some fresh email coming in. So you can take a...
What about spam? How do you handle spam on your mail system?
One very good one thing is you cannot do all against spam. If you have an anonymous informer you want to receive email from, well, he might be informing you about a government problem. He also might want to inform you about his Viagra shop. How do you know the difference as mail server when the mail is encrypted? On the other hand, you don't need to have to hand out all your email addresses publicly. That's why I say keep them close knit in small. Keep them in. Keep one email address for a small group, and then you can even only accept in the client when you have decrypted the email. Well, I didn't expect anything from that key because I only expect email from a small group of people. And it makes it quite easy to detect spam. And there are a few, well, I want to, there is maybe discussion with Tor people, other people that know more about cryptography, because you might even ask the server to filter some things for you, but that will mean handing over information to the server as anonymous user and giving information on the server about who your contacts are. People that are allowed to send email to your accounts are your contacts. And do you want to keep them locally on your local laptop or local PC, or give the information to a random server in another different country? That's a hard question to resolve with these kind of anonymous systems. And I don't want to make the decision for all my users. Some of those decisions have to be made by the user because everyone has his own way of weighing the alternatives.
And maybe we shouldn't forget this is, first of all, a proof of concept, and secondly, its primary goal is to allow journalists to get a system which would allow whistleblowers to contact them. It's not really geared towards a mass audience, and I think spamming by definition is about mass communication. In the middle, in the back.
You said the keys are saved on the local hard disk. Is it already possible to use this client on different machines?
Yes, it's
without
possible.
copying the keys all the time.
No, we're not. Say, I'm working on some way to make a nice backup of your address book and keys so that you can easily copy them over. But we're not. Say, maybe it's better to have your keys on a USB stick with your mail directories. It's possible to do it, that you can have it on a removable drive, and you can just carry the application and your keys with you, and your mail. It's proof of concept, and I like to have your creativity working on improving it.
No more questions? Okay, thank you very much.